This is leg 2 of the Big Century Hike. We're going on adventures celebrating 100 pounds of weight loss, and we've been to the Pacific Northwest, and we hiked something like, I don't know, 28 miles. I'll have to check Instagram. That's the official record of our Century Hike. And there is one person among this group who knows what leg 2 is, and that is me. Oh, you think you know?
Well,
I know.
I know. We're going to Pennsylvania to see our grandparents.
Frederick?
And a particular source.
Yeah, yesterday we heard from a source that will remain nameless.
Gary.
Edwards, that we will be going to our grandparents' house in Yardley, Pennsylvania for the next leg of our Century Hike.
And we know that we're going on a plane.
Yeah, no.
So there's nothing.
Wait. Where did you hear that?
Nowhere.
Really? Okay, so now the big mystery isn't where we're going. It's how are we going to get there and what are we going to do along the way.
Okay, so the situation is that this has been a carefully guarded secret where we're going for leg 2. It's been carefully guarded until last night. Last night we were at a reception and my friend Gary came up to me. He looked red and sheepish and he said, "I'm sorry I ruined the surprise." And it turns out Gary told these guys, "Hey, you're going to your grandparents in Philadelphia."
And I was thinking, wait, no we're not. Oh.
That's the
that
surprise.
trip.
Oh my gosh. And so I said to Gary, "But do you know the rest of what we're doing?" And he said, "Well, no." And I said, "And you're not going to find out until it's on video because you're not going to break that secret." So anyway, yeah, so then these guys started speculating, well, what are we going to do? So
No,
what,
we didn't.
well,
It's obviously going to be plane. We're not going to drive. Oh,
I'd
the
like to
way
drive.
to Pennsylvania.
That would be great. We could drive through Yellowstone. We could drive through the whole country.
okay,
And go
so
to Canada. No.
Alistair says there's no way we're going to drive, and Frederick wants to drive.
Yeah.
And so our first clue about what we're doing is this right here. Is everybody ready for the first clue?
Yeah.
Are you ready, or are you going to just drag leaves around? Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready for this is the first clue.
Plane.
Okay, yeah. That's kind of
Yeah.
a, you know,
Plane.
boring clue. But so Frederick
Plane.
says a plane, not a plane, because he wants to drive. He wants to drive all the way. Okay? Yeah, but, you know, you fly there, and then what do? You could drive, you could be in a car in Pennsylvania, right? Because they
Yeah.
have cars there.
Yeah.
They have cars there. In fact, clue number 2 happens to be a car. Okay, so do you guys think we're going to go there and maybe like rent a car or borrow grandma and granddad's car?
Borrow.
And then what would, so borrow the car, that's good. Then what would we
Borrow
do?
the car.
Oh. I think
We're going to drive around
I have an
Pennsylvania.
idea.
Okay, now let's listen to Frederick's idea. Go ahead.
Last time we were at our grandparents' house in December, our uncle showed us a car that he was thinking of selling us. We were thinking of flying to Pennsylvania and buying the car and driving all the way back home. So maybe that's what we're going to do.
So you think we're going back and we're going to not just rent a car or borrow a car. You think we're buying a car?
Yeah, we're buying the car from Uncle Eric and driving it back home.
Okay. Frederick has this outlandish idea about going back and getting a car. But see, he's still holding on to the hope that we're driving.
That we're driving across the country from coast to coast.
That's right. Okay, so these guys are just too smart, and Frederick retains all the stuff because Frederick is basically right.
Yes!
And I can't believe, because we tried to keep it a secret in December too. Because, you know, Frederick benefits from this whole thing about another car. We have a good story about that happened very recently, don't we, Frederick? So we went on a hike just about, 5 days ago or a week ago in our 1995 Honda Accord. That was
a 23-year-old car.
It's 23 years old. We've owned it for 21 years. It was our first car. We bought it in Indianapolis from Andrew Ludwig at like a Honda dealership, and it had like
Okay.
30,000 miles on it.
I'm gonna fly to our house.
So this car, you don't want to hear the story?
Oh, come on, Alistair.
Come on.
You don't even know what we're going to do along the way.
Yeah, this is a big, no, you got to hear about it. 'Cause
Come
this
on.
This is important. Family history. Okay, so we've lost Alistair, and what we were talking about is this car that we've had forever. So somebody here just got a driver's license, and luckily that was him, not me, because I've had mine for a few years. And so he got his driver's license, and on a Monday, and on the next day, Tuesday, which was just last week, he went where?
I went on a hike into the Golden Trout Wilderness by myself.
So he
Yeah.
drove the car to a trailhead, and so that was just like the first day of the rest of his life. Of course, up here we run out of gas. There's no gas stations up here, so it's like, okay, we have the spare car. And then he and I went on a hike together, and we decided to take the 95 Honda Accord with us to drive that to the trailhead. And 5 miles below the trailhead, we broke down because this guy wanted to forage for some mushrooms. So clearly it's his fault that the 95 Honda Accord broke down. And it's having
Completely my fault.
yeah, it's completely his fault. And so I would say at this point it's having quirky electrical problems. The car, I would call it completely totaled. In fact, the fact that the back passenger, door doesn't even open, and the whole console is like falling apart. You know how the old cars are. It's totaled in many ways. But definitely, as we got stranded up there, we found a little bit of religion. And it turns out we have another car in process. But what's interesting is back then in 1997, when we bought that 2-year-old car with 20 or 30,000 miles on it, the Honda, Uncle Bill was very disappointed that we bought a Honda instead of a Ford, because Uncle Bill was an executive at Ford. And so he is a Ford guy, and was not pleased about our Honda love. And so I find it very interesting that we're like pushing the Honda out to pasture, and what we're getting is
A Ford.
a Ford Explorer. And so this thing is, this is legit. This Ford Explorer is very nice. And Eric bought it as part of the Ford's Friend and Family program, Friends and Family, because Uncle Bill. And so it is like from Uncle Bill that Eric got a great deal on this Ford, and the great deal trickles down to other members of the family. That would be us, because Uncle Eric has given us a very good deal. We simply must go retrieve the car from the, greater New Jersey area. And so that is what we are going to do. And then Frederick makes a very good point that gives us an opportunity. And but I have one more clue about something that we're going to do, and this is Frederick's only clue. Based on the look on his face, I'm going to say to him, because I don't think he's kidding, I'll give you $100 if you can guess what this clue means. Oh, you guys know. Some of you know.
What does it mean?
3 seconds more. Okay, so on our trip back home, we're making a stop along the way. Time is up
Palm
for the $100. Oh, that's well done. That's very good. That should get
Palm Springs.
that should get an award. You deserve an award for that, but not $100. There may be a state in the United States that's shaped like a hand.
Michigan.
So what's this? The home of maybe...
My great aunt Diane.
Aunt Diane now lives up north. Uncle Bill, by the way, has passed, but Diane is in northern Michigan. Well, anyway, we're driving our Ford our newly acquired, almost acquired Ford. It will be acquired by then. We're driving it to Michigan and through Detroit. Because you can't buy a Ford from the Friends and Family program from your brother-in-law or your brother, your uncle, and not drive it right through Detroit. You know, like it's home, to say hello and then keep driving. Oh, I don't know, maybe to see Aunt Diane. Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Because once you're up here, okay, then what do?
You go to the Great Lakes
And you can keep going to the Upper Peninsula
and to
And-
Canada.
and anywhere that car will take you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have not had time to do the research on how we're going to get home, and I am going to need some help with that. And so, work on it because we leave soon.